everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading, my friends. Today's reading is called What Did That Last Message Really Mean? So we're going to look at a message that you received, and perhaps you were scratching your head like, what does this actually mean? And this is a love reading, by the way. So just so everybody knows, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. All right, so pile number 1 is represented by the lime green tea light. Pile number 2 is the yellow tea light, and pile number 3 is the purple tea light. So take a deep breath, clear your energy, sink into the moment, and you can go directly to the time stamps below in the description box and choose the pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. Of course, you're always more than welcome to watch more than one pile. And we are going to go ahead and get into pile number 1. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the lime green tea light, and today's reading is called What Did That Last Message Really Mean? So whoever sent you a message, all right, and this is particularly focused on love or romantic relationships. And so we're going to go ahead and get into it, pile number 1, and see what that last message that you received actually meant. And I love the silver on these cards right here. Can you see the light shining on that, pile number 1? Let's go ahead and get into it. Hope everybody's well. I can't believe we're already getting into August. 2023 is going to be over before we know it. Let's go ahead and do it for my beautiful pile number 1s, especially for my girlies out there who love fall. I'm sure you're excited and ready for some of this summer heat to be over. So let's go ahead and get into it. What did that message really mean? Can you show me? What did their last message really mean, Spirit? Can you show me what did their last message, what did their last message really mean? Okay. Alrighty. The 9 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. We have headache, not feeling it, running and avoiding. We have cocktails, drinks, and conversation. Okay, I'm already seeing something here. We have rekindle, restarting the conversation. And then we have torture. Okay, interesting. We also have heart chakra here. Headache, not feeling it, running and avoiding over the heart chakra. We have Aquarius here. All right. Oh, no wonder pile number 1. Are you guys dealing with an Aquarius who's giving you a bunch of mixed signals? That's what I'm seeing here too. We have conjunction and empowerment and rekindle. And then we have Miracle, card 33. The frequency of miracle supports our belief in ourselves as part of Source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. Okay, and then I'm going to pull over your tarot cards here too. We have the 8 of Swords. We have the Devil. Oh my goodness. Temptation Station. We have the Tower. Okay. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So pile number 1, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for coming to this reading at all and wondering what's going on, because I do feel like this person has given you really, really mixed signals. And, you know, I feel the last message you could have gotten from this person could have been like inviting you out, or hey, we should go and meet up, or perhaps we should go out and have a drink or have a conversation, or perhaps we should meet up and chat as old friends. Okay, and I'm actually getting a specific thing about somebody who, like if this is someone you used to date in the past, pile number 1, or this is somebody that you had an on and off thing with in the past, is what I'm getting. And some of you truly may be having a Venus retrograde moment here. And I think some of you are wondering with this Queen of Pentacles, is any of this shit actually good for me? And, or is it just a big headache? Now, the problem that I think you have, or that you have had when you've been around this person, pile number one, is that it seems like they're not really into making a lot of effort, or you're getting mixed messages with this Eight of Swords here about, you know, what it is that they're actually trying to do. And, you know, I do think that there is a strong physical attraction between you and this person. And I also think there is a side of you that has also thought, you know, I might just cave in here, the Tower, right? I might just cave in and rekindle something here and get something up and going again. Because I feel like for some of you, this has been a pattern, particularly with this Devil energy here. And sometimes with this person, pile number one, it seems like they just can't be bothered. It seems like, you know, talking or expressing their feelings or sharing like what's happening to them from a heart perspective, or sharing their feelings just seems annoying to them, or it just seems like it's too much for them. And so you may have felt that in their message, like that they want to see you. Like on one hand, they're saying that perhaps you guys could meet up for a drink, or perhaps you guys could meet up to talk. But at the same time, like, you know, their message might have seemed very disjointed, very rushed, very hurried. In fact, their last message to you, pile number one, could have had misspellings or punctuation errors in it. And we definitely see that with the Eight of Swords. And with the headache, it's like, my fingers are broken, I can't type, you know? And it seems like perhaps the message that you got from this person, the last message you got, pile number one, was a very like disjointed type of a message. And it was very like the person typed the message while they were doing something else, or while they were distracted doing something else. That's the other thing that I feel too. And so perhaps some of you had a big question in your own mind, like, that's weird. You know, this person reached out to me or wants to talk or has something to say to me. But on the one hand, this looks like a really sloppily composed message. Were they drunk when they composed the message? We have the Devil and we have cocktails here. So sometimes people, you know, they have a couple drinks, or they get a little, you know, they get a little squirrely, and then they send messages and then later regret it. You guys know the, you know, the drunk texting and things like that people do. And I feel like you guys are major eye roll on this, pile number one. Like, you're like, not again, not again. And, you know, every time that this person comes around back into your life with this Tower energy here, I feel like it's drama. And it's like all over again, starting things all over again is very disruptive. And, you know, I feel like you guys have been with this Queen of Pentacles, like you have really been focusing on putting healthy routines in your life, eating healthy, trying to get sleep, taking care of your own energy, taking care of your physical health. For those of you, you know, that have gone to the doctor and have had checkups and done your, you know, this person may not have the best effect on your mental or physical health, pile number one. And, you know, sometimes when, like, you know, there is this whole thing of like the body rejecting someone, you know, like you sleep with someone or you hook up with someone and then afterwards you get like a horrible infection, or, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's just a medical thing. Like, you know, we don't need to be paranoid, but like at the same time, I have heard from people in the past where they've said that, you know, they've entertained something and then all of a sudden they're sitting there with some type of rash or infection or hives or whatever it is that they have going on, urinary tract infection, those types of things. So, and if it isn't, you know, a physical thing, it could very much be like a mental thing that throws you off your game, or you're trying to stay very focused on your goals, like your financial goals, your goals around your like housing, money, all that type of stuff. And this energy is very disruptive. And you know, here's the thing with this rekindle and torture is I do feel like this person thinks about rekindling things with you. And I do think there's been multiple times that they've wanted to reach out to you in moments. And I do think that it's kind of a spur of the moment thing with them, Tower, or it's at a time when they're with the devil, when they're wasted, or when they're, you know, not quote unquote making very good decisions, or they have some type of ulterior motive is another thing that I see here, you know. And it's like, if you do go out and meet up with this person, pile number one, there, let me tell you, I believe there is an ulterior motive behind this person and behind what they're suggesting and what they are, you know, asking for. And I do think I don't think pile number one that they have any intention about talking about their emotions, their feelings, why they made decisions that they made in the past. And I feel like if you try to press them on that, they're going to give you the runaround. You know, if you try to say, hey, you know, like, well, how do you feel about me? Or how did you, or what did you think, you know, about this or that? And I do think there's some bitterness, and there may be some bitterness there from your side as well. The point with the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck is that, you know, resisting this person or holding yourself back from these energies, I feel like, you know, you guys have gotten stronger, you've gotten wiser, stronger, Queen of Pentacles, but it's also, this person is also like having to put up defenses to them, or having to shove them off or push them away could also be very exhausting. And I do feel like this person, with this miracle and empowerment and conjunction, I do think this person is trying to get with you. I do think they thought that when you two were together that you were like a very promising couple, or that you had, you know, like together there was something very promising, or there was something very exciting or passionate or promising about the energy that you two shared. And the problem is, pile number one, I don't think this person is going about it in the right way. Like, I don't think that they're, you know, like their whole thing is with the Tower, their whole thing is seeing if they can change your mind, get you to rekindle this connection with them, and get you to intensify and activate this connection with them. Now, when this energy happens between you and this person, and I feel like the sexual energy or the sexual attraction could be very strong between you and this person, pile number one, and I do feel that this person is looking to surprise you with a message, and they may even look to surprise you with another message. It may not even be the last message that you get from this person, because I do think that there is a part of this person that's intent on seeing you or trying to jump back into some type of energy with you. The thing about this connection though, pile number one, is that it's very destructive for you, okay? And yeah, and I do feel like this person is wanting to join forces with you, is wanting to activate this energy with you, but I also feel this energy is very overwhelming. And I feel, pile number one, you're not really in a place right now where you can be completely, you know, and I feel where you can be completely focused on this. Now, here's the other thing. I feel like some of you didn't reply to this person right away, because pile number one, there's a thing about you that maybe likes to teach people lessons, or wants them to be patient, or make them wait, like they made you like they made you wait, okay? And so I do think that, you know, perhaps some of you knew this person was going to reach out to you the whole time, and you knew it all along, and you were like, yeah, I knew it, and I knew if I was just patient, they would. But I also feel with this torture energy that some of you were like, I'm just going to let them sweat it out, and I'm going to let them wait. And, you know, it would take literally, you know, the miracle is our belief that anything is possible. And, you know, I mean, pile number one, I also feel like you're in a practical space in your life right now. So you're not necessarily, I don't really feel like your head is in the clouds. And I feel like you are seeing this person for what truly is going on here. Okay. And I do feel like you guys are like being very rational, and about how you're looking at this situation. I also feel like this person wants to experiment more with you sexually, that there's more that they want to uncover there. But pile number one, I don't know that you're necessarily about that energy right now. And, you know, this person would really have to change, and through their discomfort and through their torture of not having you, it would literally have to produce such a huge rebirth within them to I feel, to get you to the point where you'd be willing to even entertain this. And honestly, pile number one, the more that I even talk about it, the more that I feel that it's a waste of time, you know? And sometimes we don't need to sit there and decode what someone's message meant, because we're too busy with what we're doing in our own life. And I see having that very practical, no nonsense attitude that the Queen of Pentacles has is very beneficial to you right now, pile number one, okay? And I do feel like this person is trying to rekindle something with you. I do feel like they have some ulterior motives, or they want to get a little sauced up with you. But again, I feel like when you press this person on what it is they want or what it is that they're looking for, it's like this person can't be bothered to answer those questions. And if you start asking questions like that, that's when they disengage, roll their eyes, huff and puff, look off in the distance, get distracted. And perhaps this person did this kind of stuff when you were with them anyway, okay? And I feel some of you are like, I'm just gonna let them sweat, you know? And if you're doing that, good for you. But I also think you don't need to respond either. And, you know, and if you did respond and you're waiting to see what they have to say to your response, pile number one, I would just stay focused on what you need to do, what's in front of you, and all the dreams and goals that you're trying to make possible for your life right now. And because we're having this energy for you, pile number one, I'm going to ask one last question of the tarot here for you. And I'm going to ask, what is the number one thing that pile number one should be focused on in their life right now? Can you show us what is the number one thing that pile number one should be focused on? Okay, we have inspiration on the bottom of the deck. I love that. And closure. And I think new inspiration, new reasons to shine your light and be bright in the world and feel energized and motivated come your way. But I do feel like closure is where spirit is leading you right now, pile number one. And that is just so fitting. That spirit wants you guys to find closure with this situation. And I honestly feel like some of you have already found that closure, or you're like, I already did shut that door, or I'm already 5 steps outside of the door, you know? And if you are, good for you. Keep the door closed. It's beautiful where you're headed. And I love that she's walking in this like magnetic magenta pink forest, and it really reminds me of this miracle here. And some of you with this miracle, you may have thought, back in the day, or back when you talked to this person, like you thought maybe I would never get over this person, or I didn't actually, back in the day, or back when things were hot and heavy between me and this person, I didn't think that I would actually get over this. You know what? And honestly, I feel like here's you, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I just want to put you over all this energy because at the end of the day, you're in charge of your ship. You're the captain of your ship, pile number one. But I feel like some of you are like, yeah, it's a freaking miracle. Like, I actually am moving on. I actually am starting to feel better. I actually am like starting to feel like myself again and feel beautiful again. And yeah, I actually am like walking out that door wearing all black like a badass, you know? And good for you, pile number one. And Spirit is here helping you and empowering you to be that eccentric, electric, you know, goal-oriented person that you are, okay? And perhaps some of you here with the Queen of Pentacles, perhaps some of you have Capricorn in your chart or Aquarius in your chart, but either way, pile number one, I love that the number one thing you need to be focused on right now is closure and moving on, because there's so much to work on as far as your life is concerned right now. There's so much to build and there's so much to work on. And I feel like you have a really good handle on what that is, pile number one. So stick with that, my friends, and keep your head above it all, as they say. Keep your head on straight and keep your head above all, okay? So thank you so much, pile number one. Appreciate you being here. Love to hear your thoughts, your comments, or your feedback. Take care, pile number one. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the yellow tea light, and today's reading is called What Did That Last Message That They Sent Really Mean? Okay, and this is a love and romance focused reading, pile number two. So let's go ahead and get into it, my lovelies. I pulled out my vampire deck for you guys. It's very sexy. Let's go ahead and get into it for my pile number twos. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number two, please, and thank you. Pile number two, if you hurt your back recently or something is up with your back, or just be gentle with your back, take good care of it, make sure, you know, I mean, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but, you know, ice, heat, different things like that, for those of you that have a sensitive back at times, Spirit just coming through to talk about that energy. Okay, pile number two. And yeah, anyway, Spirit also talking to me about burping, belching, and also about like blurting things out. I don't know why I'm getting all that, pile number two, I just have to say, but you know, some people have a way of just kind of like blurting things out, and maybe you have been blurting things out lately. But anyway, pile number two, I don't know. Ask Spirit why they keep giving me stuff like that. Let me go ahead and get into it. Okay, I am getting something about Korea and somebody who could be from Korea or have Korean in their bloodline. I'm also getting somebody who likes to roller skate or rollerblade as well. Let's go ahead and see for my pile number twos. What did that last message really mean? Okay, I feel like I'm seeing the name Gabe right now on my candle, inscribed in my candle, and I'm just looking at it right now. Gabrielle, okay, so I just want to let you guys know that I'm seeing that. There's the moon on the bottom of the deck. Okay, you guys don't look too happy, my loves. In pile number two, perhaps these messages have been keeping you up late at night. Perhaps some of you haven't been sleeping that well lately, but we're going to find out what's going on, pile number two, okay? And I like your guys' withering stare, pile number two. Very good. We have, we got the night shift and waiting for you. Okay, so that's interesting because the moon is definitely about taking the night shift, and you know, you're like, hey, I'm waiting for you, and they're like, hey, I'm waiting for you. So who's waiting for who on the night shift here? We've got role play and dress up, okay, and we've got messages. Wow. So there's a lot of messages here going back and forth. We have awakening, okay. And I just got that song, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Anyway, why don't you hit me with your best shot? Anyway, we've got the Three of Cups, rejoice in celebration, having fun. It's like this person is saying, wait till I get there, save some fun for me. Don't have all the fun until I get there, like those types of messages. And I could definitely see some type of booty call energy here, pile number 2, or some type of like, hey, you're out with friends or you're out doing stuff and you and this person reach out to each other, or you have plans to hang out or do things. And I do feel like this person with this role play and dress up, they could be like sexting you or sending you some flirty, naughty messages about how they want to have fun and what they want to do, okay? And I'm also getting that some of you could have had plans with this person, or you had like loose plans to talk, or you used to have, I also am getting that you and this person at first had some really fun, flirty, cute, exciting conversations. But pile number 2, I feel like the last message that you got could have been very bland, or it could have been very like not a lot of excitement in it. I feel like this person normally or regularly would send messages that are like, you know, really like waiting up for you, or waiting till you get home, or, you know, call me when you're done, I'll be waiting for you. Like if you're out with friends, and some of you could have even told your friends about this person. And what's funny is I feel like when this person spends the night, they bring their toothbrush, or they have something about their teeth, or perhaps you bring your toothbrush all the time when you spend the night. I mean, it's a good idea, but I do see somebody walking around with their toothbrush. And I do think there could have been a misunderstanding, pile number 2, between you and this person. Like, okay, we were supposed to go out, we were supposed to go party, we were supposed to go have some fun together, or you were supposed to call me after you got done from going out and having fun. But like, you know, why are the messages now like very dry? Or why are the messages like, you know, some of you guys may be saying, you know, like these messages are like dry as hell, when in the past they used to be like really fun, or really like I felt like we were really vibing and we were really getting along and our messages were really fun and flirty. I'm also getting the energy of some of you having the same zodiac sign as this person, or making jokes about that, or saying that we understand each other because we're both such and such sign. You know, I'm getting Sagittarius right now, like, oh, you're a Sag moon and I'm a Sag rising, or something like that, you know, where you kind of banter or say things like that with each other. And then all of a sudden it gets very dry, you know, very, very dry. So I do feel there is some type, yeah, interesting. We have role play, dress up, and then we have trine and flow. So a trine in astrology is a very lovely aspect. It's a very flowy type of aspect. I also see water here too. So perhaps some of you are both water signs, or it's like, yeah, we're both Cancers, we get each other, hello, you know, or we're both Scorpios, hi, we get each other, like that type of thing. And I also feel like perhaps you guys do like role play, or you did talk about different role plays. And I also get the sense of somebody being like both a top and a bottom, or being able to be very fluid and switch roles. And I feel like you guys, you know, trine energy is just like energizing, enjoying, benefiting something, enriching it, like the conversation really being enriched by like what you say, and the looks and the messages and the conversation, and it's flowing, you know, when you feel like a convo is flowing. So what happened here, pile number 2, because I feel like the conversation stopped flowing. We have the Ace of Swords here, okay, very interesting. We have the Six of Scepters here, okay, and we have the Hermit here. Oh my goodness. Okay. And we have the Five of Grails, or the Five of Cups. And so this is a really interesting energy. And I feel like you guys are kind of sad. Pile number 2. Do you guys kind of feel a little bit sad? I feel like, are you being some sad mermaids? Pile number 2. I feel like you guys are like my sad mermaids. You're like, you know, I feel like I give a piece of myself, or I give a special part of myself. And, you know, I feel like maybe you guys were asking yourselves, like, am I not special, or am I not special to anyone? Does anyone even really care about me? Is it all just people acting and faking and fronting? And, you know, are people even serious about what they say? Or are they just saying shit to hear themselves talk? Okay. And, you know, and here's another thing too, pile number 2. I feel some of you could be feeling a little bit lonely right now. And I do feel like this person, I want to see what I'm getting from this card right here. Okay, I do feel this person could be kind of mad, pile number 2, okay? And this person could feel like you ghosted them, or that you didn't really, and I feel what's going on here is that pile number 2, you may be realizing in some of your connections or relationships or getting to know people that there's always this breakdown in communication, or there's always this issue with communication. Now we have the Ace of Swords here. So I feel like this person is saying, you know, they feel it's your turn to reach out to them, but at the same time, I also feel like they want to say something to you too. But instead, I honestly feel like this person is mad at you, pile number 2. And I feel like their pride is a little bit injured here. And for some reason, okay? And perhaps you two made plans with each other. And, you know, I mean, I feel like they got their feelings hurt a little bit by you, or their feelings felt a little bit hurt. Or it's like, okay, you want to go do that, but you don't want to come see me. I do feel like this person is like, you know, I should say something else, or I should say something to pile number 2. But, you know, these messages that you've been getting that have been very dry, or maybe just make you seem like, I feel like what you guys are saying is, does this person just want me to leave them alone, or what? You know, or does this person just want to be left alone? And I feel like they're also thinking the same thing. You know, does pile number 2 just want me to like leave them alone? And, you know, I'm getting this energy where they're thinking you didn't keep up your end of the bargain on something, pile number 2, okay? And perhaps you were supposed to reach out to this person at the end of your night and you didn't, or you fell asleep, or you got too busy, or you were helping a friend, or, you know, I feel like you had a legitimate reason. I feel some of you could have been helping a friend who is sick, or you got busy helping somebody else with something, and so you couldn't reach out to this person, or plans failed, or communication didn't happen. And so, you know, I mean, I feel with this awakening card, some of you are having an eye-opening experience with this whole situation, because I do feel like you and this person vibe. And at this point with the moon, I also feel like your feelings are hurt as well too, pile number 2. Now, if you two joked about being the same, or having similarities that are the same, then I also feel that getting your feelings hurt, or getting upset, or, you know, withdrawing with the Hermit here when one's feelings get hurt, both you and this person could have this quality, pile number 2. And that can be challenging to manage in connection, because when things are flowing really smoothly, everything's wonderful. But when there is a perceived misconduct by the other person, then both people can get, and if there's not, direct communication with the Ace of Swords about it, then things can kind of get hung up and buried, and people can take offense to things, and people can walk away, and, people can, I feel like some of you are like, fuck it. I'm always going to be alone with the Hermit here in the Five of Cups. Like, why do I even try? Why do I even bother? Like, all these things, like I feel like you guys are like, I'm putting my guard back up again, this type of energy. Okay. But I feel in your heart, you really don't want to put your guard up again. Because I feel like some of you in this pile, like, letting your guard down and actually getting excited about something and actually talking to someone new is a really big step, I feel like, for some of you, okay? And I do feel like because this person, I feel like pile number 2 doesn't know you that well, instead of just saying like what they normally would do, which is to like blurt out if they're upset with someone. And it's so interesting because I was getting that blurting something out type of energy at the beginning of your reading, but I feel like normally with this 6 of Scepters, 6 of Wands, and Ace of Swords, that this person normally does. If they're upset at someone, they normally do say something, or they have the ability to say something, okay? But for whatever reason, I feel this person also thinks that perhaps you're behaving in kind of a cold way to them too. So we have essentially here the Cold War, and we've got a Russia versus the US Cold War situation going on here, pile number 2, okay? We got a Cold War happening, and we need to figure out how to get out of this. I do think that there is some nice energy between you two, but I also think, pile number 2, you may have underestimated how this person can get their feelings hurt or get their pride injured or wounded, like rather quickly with this Ace of Swords and 6 of Wands, okay? And this person starts putting their guard up too, and they can get snarly as well, okay? And I feel like they get mad and snarly where you may get sad and depressed or, withdrawn. So there is a need, if we like each other, pile number 2, if we like each other in this scenario, there is a need to talk about things with one another. Oh my gosh, of course we have the Moon and feelings. So this person is sending you dry ass messages or very little messages, or telling you like, okay, I guess you don't really want to talk to me anymore, or I guess I'm not really, or I guess you're not really the person I thought you were. I mean, it's funny because their messages are dry, but they're also being a little dramatic, I feel. Their messages could be very short, not emotional or dry in a way, but underneath it, can't you tell that there's some type of feeling there, pile number 2? Because I can. And of course we have the Moon twice now. So underneath those dry ass messages, or those like hasty retreat kind of messages, or just basic, I ate cereal today, what did you eat type of messages, or, I took a number 2 today, what did you do? Beyond these like really dry messages, excuse my humor, pile number 2, but underneath it, there is like feeling between you and this person, and there are gut reactions to messages, and I am seeing here the word gut reaction. So I feel you guys could have had a very strong psychic gut reaction to their energy as well too, and perhaps some of you felt a little sick to your tummy, and perhaps some of you weren't feeling well, and that was the reason that you couldn't go see that person or hang out. Perhaps some of you were having an embarrassing moment. It's like, I have diarrhea, I can't come over, or whatever it is, Like the Moon is all about, not only is it about our emotions and our feelings, but it's also like about our physical health and our emotional health, but also like our food and what we're eating and what we're taking and consuming. And it does have to do with our tummies, And so it's like, you know, and maybe some of you, I've just got the word mood disorder, so maybe some of you here as well. Pile number 2, you can get very moody, or you can get very down on yourself, or you can get very, you know, sad about how things are going. And, you know, because the moon does have to do with gut reactions, digestion, comfort food, and privacy as well, and self-soothing with food or different things like that. And of course, I mentioned to Cancers or people with Cancer energy, and the moon just keeps coming up and coming up. So I really think, you know, there is this thing of getting in a mood and running off or putting one's guard up or sending really dry messages when someone feels threatened. And I do think, you know, talking about messages and moon, talking about emotions, or talking about what someone felt, or talking about how it felt, especially if you're getting to know someone new. Like, I feel some of you are having an awakening about your emotions, pile number 2, and you're starting to see how your emotions really affect you and how they affect you, like physically, like with food and substances. And you know, and it's interesting with the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups is representing Mercury in Cancer, and then we've got the moon, and you know, so we've just got a lot going on with that. And we have to, sometimes when we get our feelers hurt, we get very dry, or we get very withdrawn. But these are things, if we want a relationship to progress, if we want something to move forward, then we need to talk about our feelings. And some of you are like, I'd rather die than talk about my feelings. And I'm like, yeah, I know, pile number 2, but come on, you know. I kind of feel like you two still like each other. I honestly feel like this person's energy could be cleared with a conversation. And I kind of feel like this person's wondering like when you're going to reach out, or is looking for you to reach out to them. Now, that may be a little bit challenging for you, pile number 2, especially if you're not used to putting yourself out on the line like that. But I also think you're having an awakening as well within, where you're like, well, I can stay in my little cave and cry, or I can also talk and share something of what I'm feeling. And it's like, feelings, you know, but here they are. And we have the Merkaba. The frequency of the Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. The Merkaba is very much a protective kind of, it's like the Chariot card in the tarot is very much associated with the Merkaba and that protection. It's very Cancerian, actually. It's very moony type of energy with the Merkaba, and it is the vehicle that supports us in moving into different layers of existence and reality. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. So this is you bringing together all the aspects of your experiences in your life, your sadness, your withdrawal, your loneliness, your physical issues that are happening in the tummy or the digestion, whatever you have going on with that, pile number 2. A lot of these things are very connected, you know, and sometimes when we eat certain food, it just kind of sits in our stomach and like rots, you know what I mean? And sometimes digestion can get very slow and interrupted, and we can get really backed up. I don't know why I'm talking about all this stuff in your reading, pile number 2, but there is something about keeping the emotional energy flowing and being able to talk about your feelings and being able to get to the point of what it is that's actually going on with you physically and emotionally. Because I feel like even outside of this situation, pile number 2, you're dealing with your emotions and your mind, and you're working on healing the energy between both of these. Okay, pile number 2, and I think it's wonderful that you're doing that. Perhaps some of you are changing your diet or doing different things, and perhaps some of you are grieving the past and grieving some things that happened in the past, and I think that's all a-okay, pile number 2. But I do think that you know, having a way to support your own feelings while talking to someone, and having a way to self-soothe and support yourself, while at the same time being able to put yourself out there and say what you're really feeling, is going to help you. And I do feel like this person's like, I'm all ears. I feel they do want to hear what you have to say, and I do feel like they want to listen, you know. And maybe sometimes this person doesn't always listen that great. With the Six of Scepters, Six of Wands, perhaps sometimes they're impatient, or they're not really listening when their pride gets injured. But I do feel this person has feelings for you, pile number 2, and I do feel they are willing to listen. So perhaps that's something that you two can work on together. Okay, pile number 2. Now, let me see. What is the number one thing that pile number 2 should be focusing on right now? Perhaps some of you, it's therapy sessions or different things that you're working on. But let's see, what is the number one thing pile number 2 should be? And that's awesome if you're working on happiness. Oh, on the bottom of the deck. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I love her big smile on her face. And Spirit's like, we want to see you happy. We want to see you jubilant and joyful. And prosperity. Okay. And, you know, it's like, I can sleep when I die. I will work until I die. I will put all my energy into work and making money and doing what I need to do, so I don't have to think about this anymore. And it's funny because I do think you need to focus on prosperity, but not just, you know, getting that money, honey, but also like your happiness as well too. And look at that, justice is underneath happiness. And I was just going to talk about finding a balance between like your work and your prosperity, but also like having really joyful, fun, outgoing, emotional discussions with people that like brighten your day, because I do think that needs to happen too. And I do think it is part of your prosperity, and it does help awaken the energy of prosperity in your life. So thank you so much, pile number 2. I love that. I love the growth that I see in your reading, and I think that's awesome. Keep working at it, okay? It's definitely worth it. Pile number 2, take care, my friends. Let's move on to pile number 3. Alrighty then. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the purple tea light, and today's reading is called What Did That Last Message Really Mean? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and find out, my beautiful pile number 3s. What was that last message? And this is a love and romance reading here. So just to let you know up front, pile number 3, all about the disclaimers these days. So let's go ahead. Everything has to have like 100-page disclaimer on it these days. Anyway, the joys of modern life, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and see. What did that last message really mean to pile number 3? What did that last message really mean to pile number 3? I feel like some of you are like, you know, if you got something to say to me, then pick up the phone and call me and let me know, and don't be sending me mixed messages. I love that, pile number 3. I love that for you. Let's go ahead and see. What did that last message really mean? It's not that you're anti-technology. It's just there is something about a personal touch, I feel, pile number 3, okay? And being treated like, you know, you're just like everyone else, or you're just like the last on someone's to-do list. That would be very annoying. Okay, Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I love that. Let's go ahead and see, what did that last message really mean? I think you guys already know pile number 3 in a lot of ways, but let's see here. Oh, we have rack and booby lover. So somebody likes the boobies, pile number 3. Wow, oh, wow, okay. Ooh, okay, give in to me, quench my hunger. Wow, all right, well, the writing's on the wall, isn't it, with that message? We have spy here, okay, and we have unstable. All righty then. Interesting. Pile number 3. And we have the death card here with transformation. We have Aries, the radical, okay? Perhaps we have some Aries energy here, but I also feel like there could have been something that got taken the wrong way. And I also feel there could have been an argument or something that ensued as well. And I honestly feel like you and this person are both kind of stubborn people, or perhaps both of you can have tempers sometimes and get a little snappy with one another. But let's see what else. We have Saturn and wisdom. Yeah, if, like I said in your guys's channeled messages, when I said, you know, if you got something to say, then say it to my face and call me up. Okay, but this whole thing of spying, and perhaps in the past when someone wasn't reaching out or somebody wasn't giving you attention, pile number 3, or giving you, somebody was lavishing it on you and telling you how beautiful you are and being very attentive to you, and then all of a sudden isn't really paying attention, or is acting kind of confrontationally, or isn't giving you the attention you want. Perhaps some of you would feel that as a sense of rejection and would go, you know, look at that person's social media or try to figure out what was going on with them, or do a bunch of tarot readings on them, that type of thing. But I feel like these days, pile number 3, that you're trying to be much more grounded and patient and wait for things to come around your way. Okay, so I do like that. And I do think there could have been an argument as well. And I kind of feel like, okay, I'm getting a couple things here. We have the throat chakra and unstable. Okay, so I kind of feel like pile number 3, I kind of feel like somebody could have insulted you in a message, is what I'm getting. It's like, oh, you like all of this, or you like all of what I'm giving, or you like, you know, you say you like these things about me or my body, or we're really heavy flirting or sexting or whatever. And all of a sudden it feels like, this person is saying stuff to you that is completely out of whack with some of the things that they told you before. Now, I feel like this person could have been like low-key kind of worshiping you in their messages, or being very like, wow, you're so sexy, you're so amazing, you're so independent, you're so like tough and strong and independent and sexy. We've got the death card here. And you're like dangerous and a beauty and all these types of things. And, you know, honestly, I feel like some of you could have gotten a critical message from this person, or a message that was very like disapproving of you. And that's really interesting energy, pile number 3, okay? Or there could have been a touch of judgment, criticism, like, you know, this type of thing. And this person's telling you that they can't control themselves around you, and that you have this very fierce, like, you know, sexual energy, and perhaps they even wanted you to dominate them in some type of way with this Aries energy here. But it's like now all of a sudden, they've gone very quiet here with Saturn and Spy. Or if you do hear from them periodically or sporadically, there's something weird. Their tone has completely changed, or now it seems like they are all of a sudden became very traditional, or they became very like, you know, different than what you thought they were. So this is interesting energy indeed, okay? And I feel like, you know, we have this Aries energy here, on a mission, bossy, courageous, selfish, okay? But also on the other hand, this person being very bossy, macho, argumentative, competitive with you. And it's a bit much, you know? And I do feel like this person went to like complimenting you, saying really nice things to you, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And we have, we have the death card in between here with death and Saturn here with wisdom in the middle. And I kind of feel like you guys are too smart to kind of fall for this, or that, that you guys know what's going on, I feel like. And I feel like you guys have a unbreakable, unshakable confidence, and you've grown so much, and you're far more grounded than maybe you were when you were younger or a few years ago or whenever it was. And I feel like, if somebody starts talking to you in a way that you don't like, or somebody starts acting in a way towards you that you don't like, you're out the door. And I do feel like this person's been giving you very mixed messages, and perhaps their last message that they sent you was very terse, or very rude in a way, very competitive in a way. And I do feel there is something about you, pile number 3, that makes this person a little bit insecure, because I feel you are very independent. Not only are you very independent, you're very determined to make your way in the world. Some of you here could be entrepreneurs, business owners. You're not somebody that needs a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whoever. You're somebody that you're somebody that I feel, pile number 3, that can go and travel on your own. I feel you're one of those people that's like, you know what, I am very independent. I like to travel. I like to go do things on my own. And if you don't, I feel some of you just changed a lot. Perhaps when you were younger, perhaps you were more afraid of things, or you were more dependent on things, or dependent on somebody's money, or whatever it was, pile number 3. But I feel like at this point, you're like, you know what? I am who I am. If you don't like my job, if you don't for those of you here that do any kind of work, or have done any kind of work in the sex work or anything like that, pile number 3, or your work has been more or bottle service, or any type of thing. It doesn't have to be full on doing that type of work. Perhaps some of you have modeled, this type of thing. But I feel you guys are very comfortable with your body, and I feel you're very empowered sexually as well. And I feel like, if you guys really like someone, or you were really into them, I also feel like some of you could send naughty, sexy pictures to somebody. But I also feel like you have stopped sending things to this person with this death card here. And I feel like you know what this person likes, but now you refuse to give it to them. And I feel you really put a boundary there with this wisdom card. And I do feel like some of you are maybe wondering what's going on with this person, or what they're thinking, but you also have a boundary up, I feel, pile number 3. Okay. And I do feel like this person, for some reason, gets very nervous around you, or gets very unstable around you, or doesn't know what to say. And so some of the things that they say could be mildly offensive, or be taken as a little bit rude, and there's no excuse for that. Some people really have to grow up, and really have to, some people, they want to be with the sexiest, baddest bitch in the room, but they don't have the confidence to really swing that. You know what I mean? And I do feel like this person could have told you that, hey, I saw your story on social media, or hey, I was looking through old pictures, or hey, but all of a sudden, all your sexiness, or all your independence, or who you are, is somehow an affront to this person, pile number 3. And, the worst thing a sexy, confident, strong, sexually empowered, person can do is get involved with somebody who's extremely insecure and unstable, and doesn't really know what they're saying and doing. And the frequency of the throat chakra supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance, okay? And this person may have a way of making you feel, you know, perhaps in the past, people could kind of throw you off with things that they said to you or bring down your confidence, pile number 3, but I don't feel like this is the case anymore. I don't feel like people can do that to you. And I do feel like this person could be trying to control the situation in some way by saying things that they know are going to get under your skin. And so that is very interesting, pile number 3. Let's see what else. Up, the King of Wands. Interesting. Yeah, I am the big swinging dick in the room, and this is what I want, and this is what I need, and this is what I want you to give me. And if you don't give it to me, then I am, you know, gonna get mad, or I am going to, like, you know, and I do feel like this person likes the chase. I also feel like this person could be really into having like a beautiful, sexy partner, or having somebody who like into the chase, into chasing sexy, beautiful people. I do feel like this person like desires you, pile number 3. And I can see that pole is completely on fire. Like the pole is on fire. And I certainly think you light the fire for this person. And, you know, perhaps some of you stopped hearing from this person, or perhaps the communication really started slowing down a lot. Okay. But let's see what else we have here. The King of Wands is, you know, very sexy, but is also very demanding in a lot of ways. And, yeah, you know, and I feel some of you are like, you know what, I can be demanding in some ways too. And, you know, I'm the King of Wands too, Natalie. And I'm like, good for you, pile number 3. I like that. I like that about you already. But this person wants to feel like they're hot shit, and they want to feel like they're the hottest shit in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that this person really likes competition with their ego at all. They want the best and the baddest, but you know, can you handle it? Here we have the 7 of Swords, and yeah. So then we have the Page of Swords. Talk about spying, or going to someone's page, or looking someone up, or trying to see what's going on with somebody. You know, what's funny is that even though this person could have said things about you that, you know, you don't really appreciate, or you didn't really like, I feel like you guys can say them right back, pile number 3. If somebody says something to you and it's disrespectful, or it doesn't work for you, I also feel like you have the ability to tell that person, look, I'm not going to put up with that, or I'm not going to put up with that attitude, you know? And I honestly feel there's a little bit of a battle of the wills going on here between you and this person, okay? And with the 7 of Swords and King of Wands, I do think, you know, they're being very flirty and forward with you, but they may have stopped being very flirty and forward with you, and or you may have stopped. I feel some of you have stopped, okay, being flirty and forward with this person, because you don't like some of the things that you're seeing from this person, the inconsistencies, the ego, etc. So I feel like some of you have kind of stopped talking to this person, perhaps, or you've stopped sharing so much with them, or you've stopped sending them sexy pictures, or you've been biting back at them a little bit too, you know? And I do think the communication is now being, you know, it's unstable. And the 7 of Swords in the tarot is the Lord of unstable effort. So, you know, maybe this person isn't putting as much energy into the conversations anymore, or they're saying like one thing, one really, really short thing, and then that's it, and just leaving you there to kind of interpret what's going on. And I feel some of you are about ready to stop talking to this person altogether. With the Death card here and this Saturn card, I kind of feel like some of you are like 5 seconds away from just saying, shoo fly, don't bother me. And because I feel like some of the things and even some of the viewpoints that this person has, pile number 3, politically, or their mindset, or the way that they, for those of you here watching for a man, I feel like the way that this person talks about women, like they may be a total chauvinist in a lot of ways. I mean, I just kind of feel like you guys are like, you know what? I'm not really into your ego. I'm not really into your games. And I feel like some of you have really shut down or thinking of shutting down this communication for sure. Okay, you're thinking about putting the 10 of Swords on this motherfucker, okay? And yeah, with the Death card, it's like I'm 1 second away from ending things. And, this person may think that you're being very impulsive, or that you're a very fierce and assertive person, or that you're argumentative, or that you have a need to prove your point. And we've got a lot of Scorpio and Aries energy here. So some of you here may be very fierce and wanting to prove your point and wanting to stand in a superior position, pile number 3. But I also feel like when we get into this battle of the egos with someone, it's not really, it's not good. It's a stressful situation. It's angry. And the communication has become very unstable to the point where you don't know what type of message you're going to get from this person. And actually, this person may have stepped back from communicating as much with you as well, too, because they feel like they're getting something different every time. Like they're getting, a pissed off you, and then they're getting somebody that's like, yeah, it's over, I don't care, with the Death card, or I'm moving on. Or, like for those of you that are on social media, could show you going out and doing things and not giving a shit and taking sexy pictures, whatever you got going on there. But this person is reading it as like, I kind of feel, pile number 3. Now, I'm just telling you what this person feels. This doesn't necessarily need to be you at all, but I feel like this person, the reason why their messages have been like they've been is because they feel like you're somehow unpredictable, unreliable, or destructive in some type of a way, pile number 3, with what you're saying and doing. But I also feel like the reason why this person feels this way is because you've called them out on their lies or on the shit that they've said. Now, this is all like frustrating, I feel too, because sometimes when you really point out, and I feel with this Page of Swords, you guys have really pointed out to this person, hey, this thing, that thing, like, you guys have, like, you telling this person, hey, you just go after what you want. You've got a short attention span. You're not being genuine. You're not showing integrity. Like, I feel you guys are very smart in pile number 3, and you don't miss a lot. Some of you may have heavy air in your chart, and some of you may really know how to tell someone or give someone a piece of your mind if you see them, acting a fool. And I do feel like you guys are, you're getting very Saturnian about this connection, in the sense that you're like, I'm getting myself under control here, and I need to, I don't really have time for this energy, and it's just getting annoying at this point, And so if you are getting unstable, weird messages from this person that are vaguely insulting in some type of a way, where they were completely cool with things you were doing in the past, or they really were complimenting you on things, and now all of a sudden they have a problem with it, it's because of this insecurity. And it's because they think you're not behaving a way that you should be behaving towards them. But I also feel like you guys are not the poster children for, behaving a certain way for your partner all the time. I feel like you guys don't really want to be controlled like that, pile number 3. And I don't feel like that's really if there's somebody in your life who's trying to make you act a certain way or control your behavior, you guys are going to rebel against that times 1,000. And so I do see where the communication, the energy behind this, oh boy, has gotten really crazy, okay? And look what we have here. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Of course, you know, like they have met their match. I mean, are they really trying to fuck with you? Do they really, you know, do they really like think you're the one? Because you're not the one. I feel like pile number 3, and I feel some of you here could have a temper too yourselves if somebody treats you like that, you know? And I feel you guys are also like, no, I will be respected and I won't be talked to like that and I won't be treated like that, and that isn't cool, you know? And I feel some of you in this reading, I am feeling like a very strong feminist type of an energy, or very much a talk back type of an energy. So perhaps that is going on here too. Now, here's another thing that I'm getting, pile number 3. If you suspect that this person, if there's a third party involved, and I do not bring this up very often in readings, but I need to talk about it now, because I feel like some of you are like, this person came on really hot and heavy, saying all these intentions and what they wanted to do, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and then I'm acting like I don't give a fuck and I'm calling them out, and then the communication between us is getting very unstable and argumentative. And some of you could have found out about another woman or another man or whoever, like you could have found out that there is someone else. And honestly, pile number 3, I feel like you're one of those people that doesn't get mad at the other person. You get mad at the person who is telling the lies and pretending. And I also feel like some of you could be defending a friend towards this person too. Like they don't like the way that that friend acts. They don't like the way your friend is. Probably because your friend is kind of like them and doesn't put up with shit and doesn't take shit. I also feel there could be an issue between this, you and this person, and a friend of yours, okay? And I do feel for some of you here too, there could be a third party issue where you guys found out about something and now you're really closed off to this person, and now they're pissed because you're not giving them the Queen of Wands, you're giving them the Page of Swords, which is like sit and spin on my sword, okay? And you're like, if you want to see some fire, I'll show you some fire. So I do think that there is a lot of energy going on here, pile number 3. And I do think this is a bit of a hot mess, okay? And I do think that there is a need to take a step back here and sort out your feelings and sort out what you want to say before you respond to this person. And try not to respond to this person when you're in a reactive state, because I honestly feel like you don't need to give this person any ammunition, pile number 3, because I kind of feel like this person is a type of person with the 7 of Swords and King of Wands, where if you say something in the heat of battle, they'll turn around and throw it back into your face. And I don't like that energy for you. I'm not into that energy. I want to see, you know, peace and balance, right? The throat chakra supports our self-expression, not only our self-expression, you know, because the Page of Swords and the Queen of Wands is definitely expressing self in a big way, which I think you guys can do if you're mad particularly, okay? But at the same time, the throat chakra also supports our sense of peace and balance, okay? And I do think that that's something with this Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Perhaps you guys need some time out in nature, or you need some time to spend with your pets or your animals, or if you like horses. Perhaps some of you are needing to take your mind off of this situation, and you're needing to refocus your energies on work, on projects, on creative stuff. I do feel like you are a very strong and determined person who could have a lot of projects going on at once. And I feel like this situation just deters you from that, and you spend more energy having to defend yourself or having to get in the middle between things that you don't even really need to be getting in the middle of. And honestly, like, this whole thing feels like a hot mess for me right now. And pile number 3, I don't like to feel that way. I hope you don't like to feel that way either. I'm saying how it feels for me, but most importantly is how it feels for you, you know? And like I said, I think some of you are about done with this situation, or you're about ready to put a fork in it. Because it's like, you know, I don't really, like, I don't need this. And I feel like you guys are like, I can't believe what this person is saying. Perhaps some of you showed a friend your phone or an email and said, look at what this, you know, joker wrote to me. Look what this loser wrote to me, or whatever, you know? And some of you could have a friend that's very mad at this person too, that doesn't like them at all. And perhaps some of you got caught up in a thing in between two people who were fighting as well. So there's just a lot of communication, angry, argumentative, you know, backstabby type of energy going on, pile number 3. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I feel like the best thing to do is just go walk around outside with your shoes off and drink a cool glass of lemonade and congratulate yourself for being so wisdom Saturn, for being so mature and being able to read through situations and not reacting to them, and just minding your business, you know? And the Page of Pentacles is definitely a mind your business type of energy. And keep your eye on the prize, and, you know, manage your own life and don't worry about what other people are doing or saying. And I know that's frustrating when someone is bold-faced lying with this 7 of Swords, or bold-faced saying shit, or, you know, triggering, because people can be very triggering, you know, and perhaps you do need to say something, and you do need to stand up for yourself in some way, pile number 3. But after you do that, I feel like, okay, now time to find peace and balance and chill and radiate in that energy, okay? And I do feel you guys are getting ready for a new cycle here with this transformation in Aries. Like, you're getting ready to start new things. You're getting ready to do new things. And I would just keep your eye on that prize instead of whoever else, okay? So pile number 3, I'm going to go ahead and close your reading and ask, what is the number one thing that pile number 3 should, whoopie whoopie woo. What is the number one, see, everything's all over the place. What is the, and I feel like rushed in this moment, so perhaps you guys need to take the rush out of things and get grounded, okay? But let's go ahead and see, what's the number one thing pile number 3 should be focused on. We have career on the bottom of the deck, so that's a huge one that you guys have been working towards, goals in that area. We have clarity. I love that. And especially because I feel this is a bit of a complicated situation, and the throat chakra is very much about clarity. So is the Page of Swords. And, you know, even if it's not like, you know, even if it's not the best, even if it sucks, I feel like Saturn is a great energy in these situations because it's boundaried, it's about boundaries, it's about self-control, it's about responsibility, structuring time, restraining yourself, and restraining yourself to a point where you're just kind of, it's just you and the nature around you, and, you know, it's just you and your beating heart, pile number 3. And you really have like those really lucid moments of clarity to really see a situation for what it is. And the throat chakra helps with clarity. And sometimes we can get into conversations with people that throw off our throat chakra, and which is directly connected to our third eye, which is creating issues with clarity. And so I do think some of you could be using some gemstones right now, perhaps to help with throat chakra. You could be doing meditations, chanting, mantra, whatever it is to clear the, because I feel like there are things you want to say with the Page of Swords, but I also feel like you've been holding back with Saturn here because you don't want to be reactive or give the best of yourself to someone else when you're in that space. And so I can definitely, you know, that's very good that I feel you're doing that. But clarity for you guys starts when you like put some boundaries, put some time restraints, put some self-control around the situation, pull yourself out of it, maybe spend some time outdoors, and then all of a sudden you find clarity and it takes you out of the moment, and you're not like, what do I need to do about this situation? I'm all fired up. I can't, blah, 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 get my head out of it. Okay. And so Spirit really does want you to get your head out of this situation for sure. And perhaps some of you are looking for clarity about your career, and you don't want to, muck up with your clarity with all these other things going on. Okay. So thank you so much, pile number 3. Thank you for being here, my friends. And thank you to everyone who came to their reading today. I'm wishing you all a beautiful week. Take care.